Tesla spent 9 months below its 200 daily moving average in 2019. Then it took off and never looked back. 10 times is what Tesla holders got. Not a lot of them were able to hold. Let's look at the price of silver today. Silver spent 9 months below its 200 daily moving average, and it was a hot mess since the summer of 2020. Imagine that. Silver's going nowhere for 2 years now. What a disaster, right? What fool wants to hold silver? Not so fast, though. That's what we would argue. Silver's been consolidating between $28 and $21 for some 24 months, after which it dropped below its $21 mark for some 6 months. It's now back in the consolidation range. Even more so, more importantly, silver's 2022 lows were a successful test of the 2018-2019 highs. What's even more important, the decline of 2022 has the shape of a very bullish reversal. This is turning the entire consolidation of the last 30 months into a giant bullish reversal. Here's the fun part, and listen closely. It's almost the exact same setup as Tesla's setup back in 2019. If we look at a candlestick chart of Tesla prior to taking off and compare it with silver, both charts we're seeing one big difference. While Tesla's chart had a very bullish setup, silver's chart today is even more bullish. That's because the last 9 months have the shape of a multi-leg W reversal. Did we say that we are widely bullish for silver in 2023 and beyond? Welcome back, my friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer, so now let's talk silver. A lot of experts are coming out and saying that they are extremely bullish for the price of silver into the year 2023, much more bullish than the previous years. Now, when you look at a chart like this is the 3-month chart. Silver's price has steadily been climbing, and it's not looking like it's going to stop anytime soon. And the reasons they're saying aren't too far-fetched. One article in particular, though, is this one. He's comparing silver's price versus Tesla's price, similarities and differences. And when you look at what he's saying, the case he brings up, it's very, very compelling. Silver investors might learn something from examining the Tesla chart, particularly the setup prior to start Tesla's big secular bull run, or to the start of Tesla's big secular bull run. Before we look at Tesla's price chart and compare it with silver's price chart, let's review some of our latest silver analysis. So here's their forecast for 2023. The price of silver will move to our first bullish target of $34.70 in 2023. We expect $48 soon after, not later than in 2024. Now, $34.70 would be the highest price silver's gotten since 2011 when it hit $50. So regardless, even if we break that ground in 2023, it could easily reach $40 especially by the end of the year, given so many unknown variables and how we're living in crazy times, so we can't expect normal prices, right? You want to talk about crazy silver prices? Well, we're living in a crazy world. Regardless, I always talk about triple-digit silver, and I think when we talk about quote-unquote skyrocketing prices or quote-unquote silver exploding, we're talking about triple digits, and that's in my opinion. I talk about triple-digit silver by the year 2025, 2026. A lot of people are saying a lot sooner. The reasons I'm giving is because of the supply deficit, right? The silver shortage. But also when you incorporate the micro, the financial side of things, the monetary side of things, besides just the macro, which is the supply and demand fundamentals, it could be a lot sooner. Now, let's look at the gold to silver ratio, which they also bring to the table. Can the gold to silver ratio ultimately move back to the long-term rising trend line, which now comes in at 38 points? They believe so. Now, if the gold to silver ratio hit 38 points, that would be extremely bullish for silver. This might happen with the silver price of $75 an ounce in a few years from now, which could come with the gold price of $3,000 and the gold to silver ratio of 40, which is 40 to 1. So that's in 3 to 4 years from now, not in 2023. And they're trying to make that clear, we're not trying to mislead our audience, which I really like. You will hear a lot of silver pumpers. You're going to hear people saying, Silver's going to explode tomorrow and you better buy it right now. Now, that's extremely dangerous because if you have this unrealistic expectation, you're going to start impulsively buying silver, using 75% of your paycheck, panic buying, rushing, it's not healthy. That's not a good way to invest, is off of emotions, off of fear. You have to be cool, calm, and collect. And I want people to understand the realities. Silver's not going to explode next week. When I started back in 2015, I thought that, and that's because of the content I consumed. I thought silver was always about to explode tomorrow, and I was going to miss the boat, and I had to spend all of my money right then because tomorrow it was going to be $500, and that was extremely dangerous to do. And I want my audience to realistically understand. Yes, silver is going to explode, but it's not tomorrow, and that's not even the point. If you're in this to get rich, then you're in it for the wrong reason because silver is what makes you rich. Silver is wealth. And it's not supposed to be a get rich quick scheme. This is a long term preservation of wealth as you're putting your money into basically a time capsule. Now, regardless, the gold to silver ratio is a good point to bring up because we saw in March of 2020 it was 125 to 1. So if they're talking about 40 to 1, that would be extremely bullish. The lower the ratio goes, that means that silver is outperforming gold. When the ratio was 125 to 1, that means that gold was astronomically outperforming silver. That was the highest ratio it's ever been. Historically, it used to be 2.5 to 1, 2.5 parts silver equals 1 part gold, because back then in ancient biblical times, they thought silver was magical because silver can purify water. Silver is the most highly conductive metal for thermal conductivity, electricity, light sensitivity. Nothing performs the way, even close to what silver does. Copper is a close second in electrical conductivity, but the quality is just nowhere near. That's why silver is irreplaceable. Regardless, that was back in the day. Then it was 8 to 1 because that's the ratio it comes out of the Earth's crust for thousands of years. And then all the way until 1930, it was 16 to 1. But in 1930, FDR got in office, changed the gold to silver ratio from 16 to 1 to 75 to 1, single-handedly devalued silver. Also, remember what happened in 1930, right? Executive Order 6102, all of a sudden, you have to turn in all your gold. You literally had to turn in your gold, and if you didn't, you had to pay a $10,000 fine, 10 years imprisonment, or both. A lot happened. And even looking at 1980, what brought silver to $50, the highest price still till this day, was the Hunt brothers. You know why the Hunt brothers got into silver? Because gold was banned at the time. You couldn't buy gold. So looking historically, there's been a lot of crazy situations, bizarre situations that in our world, you would never imagine happening. Never imagine gold being banned. Never imagine silver being banned. You got to remember that right now, a wrench could get thrown in. There could be a new world order, a global reset, or like Andy Scheckman says, the BRICS nations that throws things way out of left field, a digital currency backed by physical commodities like gold and silver. What would that do to the price? I mean, the dollar has lost 98% of its purchasing power. What's going to happen when that reaches 100%? Every fiat-based system lasts around a century. It's been about a century. You got to remember this stuff, folks. You could live in La La Land, or you could be a realist. So I'm not talking about silver skyrocketing tomorrow, but given the next 5-10 years, there is going to be major changes, and that's why we invest in a silver, not just, because I'm trying to make $5,000 in a couple of months, or I'm trying to flip, put $5,000 in silver, and then cash out with $20,000 and go get myself a nice car. That's not why we invest into this. So anyways, I just felt like I had to go on that little rant right there because, when people, there's a lot of new beginners that aren't in this for the right reason. And I hopefully watching content like this can kind of give you an idea of why we really invest into silver. So this is another big variable. Which is a big if, silver is going to consolidate and find decent support around $21. It will be an outrageous, aggressive, strong buy for the long term. It might even be the last chance to get after. Silver will not look back for many years to come. And that's a good point. The average price of silver for the last decade has been $15. When I started, silver was $15. I remember the first time silver broke past $20, we celebrated like silver won the Super Bowl. $20 was was very high for silver to pass through. Now we look at $23 silver and 80 cents and say, oh, it's so low. And that's because a lot of people got desensitized at that $30 range during the Wall Street silver movement, which pushed the price of silver to $30. So most people started buying at around $30. So to them, $23.80 is very low, whereas someone like me that got in at $15 looks at $23.80, and that seems high to me. So you see how depending on when you entered the market, depends on your perception. Regardless if you started at 15 or 30 is irrelevant. The whole point is silver is extremely cheap, extremely undervalued, and this might be the last time we get to buy silver at $23.80 an ounce. There's going to be people finding this video a couple of years from now. Since this video was recorded on December 28th, 2022, there'll be people watching this in 2024, 2025, wishing they could build a time capsule and go back to the day that silver was $23.80 and buy it. I'm sure there'll be people finding this video by then. And if you are from the future, folks, let me know. Is there flying cars yet? Has Elon Musk put people on Mars? No, I'm kidding. Regardless, on a serious note, let's look at this, because the physical market imbalance, supply shortage, is historic. And this is where I really dive into things. It's not just a big supply shortage jump of four times against last year. So lots of background on what's happening in the silver market. With this in mind, let's look at the daily Tesla price chart right before it took off. Although not visible, the price of Tesla went up 10 times in 2020 to 2021. What we observe is that Tesla price chart was a hot mess between 2014 and 2019. Price was bouncing between resistance and support in a wide range of $12 to $25. Imagine investors that got in around $24 somewhere in 2018. Almost all of them for sure were happy sellers when Tesla fell to $12, way below the 200 daily moving average, because stock trading below 200 daily moving average is not good, is what technical analysis suggests. So Tesla's chart from 2013 to 2019 was a hot mess. It spent 9 months below its 200 daily moving average in 2019, testing the 2017 lows, after which it took off like a rocket. And that's the thing that a lot of people got to remember. They think, oh, it's not going to break above that. If and when silver breaks above $50, we're going to see $100 silver shortly after. Now, it will correct back down. That's extreme overbought territory, but that's going to happen. There's so much resistance at $50. Tesla spent 9 months below its 200 daily moving average in 2019. It took off and never looked back. 10 times is what Tesla holders got. Not a lot of them were able to hold. Let's look at the price of silver today. Silver spent 9 months below its 200 daily moving average. It was a hot mess since the summer of 2020. Imagine that. Silver is going nowhere for 2 years now. What a disaster, right? Why fool wants to hold silver? What fool wants to hold silver, right? Not that fast is what we would argue. Silver has been consolidating between $28 and $21 for some 24 months, after which it dropped below the $21 mark for some 6 months. It's now back in the consolidation range. Moreover, and more importantly, silver's 2022 lows were a successful test of the 2018-2019 highs. What's even more important, the decline of the 2022 has the shape of a very bullish reversal. This is turning the entire consolidation of the last 30 months into a giant bullish reversal. Here's the fun part. It's almost the exact same setup as Tesla's setup back in 2019. If we look at a candlestick chart of Tesla prior to taking off and compare it to silver, both charts below, we see one big difference. While Tesla's chart had a very bullish setup, silver's chart is even more bullish, and that's because the last 9 months have the shape of a multi-leg W reversal. Did we say that we are widely bullish for silver in 2023 and beyond? Yeah. I mean, think about that. That's spot on. There we go, folks. I mean, that's a great case. Now, you can never always incorporate history as fact. This is just a prime example of another situation, given some similarities. There are some differences, but the whole point is, given the chart analytical data mixed in with the economics and what's happening to the dollar and what's happening in the economy even, especially we got the 2024 presidential election and you got yada, 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 given the supply shortage. There's a lot that is looking very bullish for silver. And then you find this type of information as well. It's just another little, piece of evidence that's pointing towards higher silver prices. And I really want people to understand that. A lot of people, even Commerce Bank says $25 by the end of 2023. This was written yesterday. So they're saying $25 by the end of 2023. Now, it's already damn near $25. So for something like that, you could see how there's extremely bearish people and extremely bullish people. Now, they're saying the gold to silver ratio be 74-1, which is pretty average. I mean, given, we saw 125-1 in March of 2020. And then they talk about the gold to silver ratio is currently 78, and they're looking at levels of 60, which would mean silver is outperforming gold. So regardless, a lot of people are going to be saying a lot of different things. What do you think, though? I'd like to pass the question off to you. Do you think silver's price is going to rally in 2023, and what price and why? I could say silver is going to reach $70 by the end of 2023, but if I don't explain why I think that, I'm not saying much. I don't personally think that. I was just throwing out a number. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you like this video, then please like the video. I post daily videos every single day. I'm back on track. I'm going to start posting 6 to 7 videos a week. Yes, that's daily videos. I might take one day off, maybe on Sundays, I don't know. But a lot of content coming. I'm going to start linking back up with Andy Sheckman as well. We're both very busy people, so we haven't made our show in a couple weeks. I do have a playlist. Just go to interviews, and it shows all of our past interviews that Andy and I have done. He is also the CEO of Miles Franklin. Make sure to send an email to Miles Franklin, info@milesfranklin.com, if you want to purchase some of that shiny stuff. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Please like the video if you liked the video. Let me know what you think. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.